Let's meet Garrett. Garrett is 24 years old. He has a decent job. Nothing special. Nothing terrible. He earns enough to pay the bills and maybe save a little at the end of the month. On a good day, his checking account has a few $1,000s in it. On a bad day, not much more than that. His net worth sits around $35,000. Most of it is locked away in retirement accounts he rarely checks. One afternoon, Garrett walks into a store looking for a new pair of wireless headphones. He finds a pair he likes. The price tag says $249. And immediately, something happens. His brain starts calculating. Not consciously, automatically. Rent is due next week. His car insurance payment is coming up. The credit card bill hasn't been paid yet. Gas prices seem higher again. Can I afford this? That's the first question. The question almost everyone starts with. And here's what's interesting. Even when the answer is yes, the calculation still happens. That's what makes this level exhausting. You're not just buying headphones. You're evaluating your entire financial life. Every purchase feels connected to every other purchase. A dinner out isn't just dinner. It's money that can't be saved. A new jacket isn't just a jacket. It's money that won't be available later. A vacation isn't just a vacation. It's months of financial consequences running through your head. People often think financial stress comes from not having enough money. Sometimes that's true, but a lot of the stress comes from constantly thinking about money. Every decision requires analysis. Every purchase requires justification. Every swipe of your card requires a conversation with yourself. It's mentally exhausting, and most people don't realize how much energy it consumes until it finally disappears. Now let's fast forward. 10 years pass. Garrett is 34. His income has increased, but that's not the biggest change. The biggest change is what happened to his assets. He invested consistently, month after month, year after year. Nothing dramatic, nothing exciting, just steady progress. His net worth eventually crosses $150,000, then $200, then even higher. One day, Garrett is sitting at an airport waiting for a flight. A notification appears on his phone. For an extra $180, he can switch to a direct flight and get home 4 hours earlier. A younger Garrett would have immediately chosen the cheaper option. No question, saving money was the obvious answer. But this time, something different happens. He doesn't check his bank account. He doesn't think about next month's bills. He doesn't calculate how many hours he worked to earn that $180. Instead, he asks a completely different question. Is it worth it? Think about how powerful that shift is. The money isn't the focus anymore. The value is 4 extra hours at home, 4 fewer hours in airports, 4 fewer hours sitting in uncomfortable chairs eating overpriced food. Suddenly, the decision isn't about affordability. It's about quality of life. This is where many people experience their first real wealth shift. Not when they buy something expensive, not when they hit a certain salary. When the question changes, can I afford this becomes, is this worth it? Most people assume income creates that transition. It doesn't. There are people earning 6 figures who still worry about every purchase. And there are people earning far less who don't. The difference isn't income. The difference is net worth. Because income tells you how much money comes in. Net worth tells you how much you've actually kept. And what you've kept creates security. Security changes behavior. Behavior changes decisions. And decisions shape your life. But there's another level, a level that most people never talk about. Because by the time you reach it, money starts behaving differently. Let's jump ahead again. Garrett is now 48. His net worth has crossed $1 million. For years, he thought reaching this number would change everything. He imagined feeling rich. He imagined buying expensive things. He imagined finally wanting all the things he couldn't afford when he was younger. Instead, something unexpected happens. He wants less, not more. One afternoon, Garrett walks through a luxury shopping district. A watch catches his eye. Price tag, $8,000. 20 years ago, he couldn't afford it. 10 years ago, he would have asked whether it was worth it. Now he asks something completely different. Do I even care? That's the third question. And it's the most powerful one of all. Because it has almost nothing to do with money. The watch is affordable. The value might even be reasonable. But neither matters. What matters is whether it improves his life, whether it creates happiness, whether it solves a problem, whether it means anything at all. Many people spend decades chasing wealth because they believe wealth leads to more consumption. In reality, wealth often leads to more clarity. You stop buying things to impress people. You stop buying things because everyone else has them. You stop buying things because advertisements tell you to. You become more selective, more intentional, more focused on what actually matters. And that's where the biggest financial lesson appears. Most people spend their lives trying to look wealthy. Very few spend their lives becoming wealthy. Looking wealthy is expensive. Actually becoming wealthy is surprisingly boring. It's automatic investing. It's patience. It's consistency. It's saying no when everyone else says yes. It's building assets instead of appearances. The irony is that people who look rich often stay stuck, while people quietly building net worth eventually gain something far more valuable. Freedom. Freedom to spend time how they want. Freedom to work because they choose to. Freedom to ignore financial emergencies that would have terrified them years earlier. Freedom to make decisions based on what matters instead of what costs less. That's why wealth isn't really about money. Money is just the tool. The real goal is freedom. And the easiest way to understand where you are today is to identify the question you're currently asking. Can I afford this? Is it worth it? Or do I even care? Because that question reveals far more about your financial life than your salary ever will. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Garrett Explains Money for more insights on wealth, investing, and financial freedom. And remember, the biggest sign of wealth isn't what you buy, it's the freedom to choose what truly matters.